I didn't tell my parents or my friends or the people in the room with me. No one at all. Because when you start talking, they either look away or say, "That's terrible," and don't call back. It's easier that way. It's easier for everybody. It's not easier for me. So I'm just gonna put it here. Let me just throw this in the thread and close the tab. You don't know who I am, and I don't know who you are, and that's probably all I have left. It's been 7 months since I walked out of that station, staggering around in both blood and dust and screaming. The city where it happened is Tulsa, Oklahoma, downtown, 11th Street Station. Monday, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Crowd not like New York, but there were 40 people on the platform. Some with coffee, some with headphones in their ears. A guy in an orange hoodie flipping through Twitter. I remember a girl in a green skirt smiling at me when I stood next to her. I remember a kid about 6 years old holding onto his mom's bag, and she kept telling him, "Don't run." It all sticks in my mind because then there was no one. It all happened in a second. No, not even a second. Just a flash, a shockwave, and you can't hear a thing. The ground beneath your feet goes away like an elevator. Your ears are as deaf as water, and all you feel is the air cutting into your lungs and something hot dripping down your neck. Someone grabbed my shoulder. Someone was yelling. Or maybe I was just imagining it. I remember the smell. Sweet and chemical. Burnt plastic. Blood. Cinders. Red-hot metal. It's ingrained in me. Sometimes I wake up and smell it again, but I know it's only in my head. I was pulled out almost immediately. I don't know who. Then at the hospital, the nurse said some teenager pulled me out, and he was covered in blood. His name was Trey. I tried to find him. I couldn't find him. He wasn't on any lists. No survivors, no dead. He just disappeared. Like a ghost. I even started to think I pulled myself out, but I remember a hand on my shoulder. Someone was definitely there. I spent 8 days in the hospital. Burns, shrapnel, hearing damage, a mild concussion, but mostly nothing that makes you a hero. Just alive. Didn't talk for the first 2 days. Then I started talking. Couldn't stop. The nurse listened, or pretended to. There was a guy across the hall, Sam. No hand on his right arm. We talked to him nightly, and then one day he was just gone. The bed was draped. Then they took it away. Nobody said anything. I still don't know if he died or was transferred. Sometimes I think I made him up, just so I wouldn't feel like I was alone. The investigation was silent, very quiet. Nobody explained anything to us. They said presumably an improvised device. Then they said we can't rule out a terrorist connection. And that was it. They didn't give us a name. They didn't publish a photo. The guy with the backpack is the only thing I remember. He was standing on the edge of the platform. I noticed him because he had very white sneakers. So clean, like they were fresh out of the box. And there was blood on one foot. A drop right on the lace. I thought maybe he cut himself. And then he put the backpack down. And he walked away. He just walked away. 15 seconds before the explosion. I wasn't even surprised. I've been trying to find the security footage. They're gone. Turns out it was the day of the system upgrade. All the cameras were offline. Coincidence? Maybe, but it's become too many coincidences. I went to the police station. Said I saw a man. They listened to me, took notes, didn't ask me a single question. One of the officers said, "We'll check it out." No one called again. 2 weeks later, I came again. My statement was gone. The survivors, they're like me. Closed. Broken. We set up a chat room on Telegram. There were 6 of us. 2 are active now. The rest just disappeared. One hanged himself, left a note saying, "I can't stop loving that day." Another one started drinking, lost his family. I've been in touch with a girl called Rachel. She's got burns on her face. She told me how people on the street turn away when they see her. She said it was like I was dead, but they wouldn't let me go. I offered to meet her. She refused. Then she disappeared from the chat room. My therapist listened at first. Then he started giving advice from the book. Like, breathe deeply, find a hobby, believe in the best. At one point, I just got up and left. He didn't call. I found someone else. Same story. Now I don't go. I've tried the meds. They turn you into a vegetable. You're not afraid because you don't feel anything. Not even yourself. I quit. Better fear than emptiness. Work? I quit. At first they said, come back when you're ready. Then we need to replace you. I'm not mad. It's just that they don't know what it's like to try to focus on the mail when you have a kid without a leg in front of you. Or when the door slams and you fall to the floor because your brain decides it's happening again. And it will be again. And again. I tried dating. With a girl I knew before the explosion. We went to a cafe and everything was going fine until they brought out burnt meat from the kitchen. The smell. I went outside and started throwing up. She came out next, asked, "Are you okay?" I said, "I don't want to hide anymore." She replied, "I don't know what you want, but I can't help it," and walked away. I started recording voice messages to myself, just so I wouldn't forget. The first one was 2 minutes long. The last one, 28. It's all there. The voices I remember. The screams. The clang of metal. Footsteps. The clock that stopped on someone's hand. One time I turned it on repeat at night and listened to it until morning. I don't know why. I went to the station 5 months later, just to see what it looks like. The tiles are new. Walls repainted. People smiling, hurried, no one knows. Where the backpack used to stand is now a vending machine. I stood there and watched, and I wanted to scream. For someone to stop. For someone to say, "I remember." But no one stopped. They just walked on by. I don't know where that guy is. I don't know why it happened. I don't know why no one is talking. Maybe it was more than that. Maybe an experiment. Maybe just a maniac. Maybe a mistake. But then why is everything covered in such silence? I'm writing this here because no one here will say you need to let it go. Or how long can you live in the past? Or it's all in the past. I'm not in the past. I'm living in it. Every day. Again. And again. And again. I tried not to remember. There was a moment when I was lying in the ward and my whole body felt like absorbent cotton. Not from the pain, from the morphine. You seem to be here, but not quite. I had bandages on my chest and on my right thigh, and every time the nurse changed them, I looked up at the ceiling. There was a lamp there, and next to it was a crack like a lightning bolt. I memorized it. Then when I got out, I found the exact same crack on the ceiling in the apartment. It knocked me out. I stood against the wall for an hour, just stood there, pressing against the cold plaster until I felt like I could breathe. One day at the hospital, some uncle in a suit came to see me. No badge. He spoke slowly, asked me what I saw where I was standing, where I was at the time of the explosion. I answered. He nodded. Then he asked, "Are you sure the backpack was left by a man?" And that's when I felt something, like he already knew who did it, like he didn't want me to say too much. I said, "I saw him leave. I can describe him." He replied, "It's important for us not to create a public panic." Then he added, "Take care." And he left. I never saw him again. Since I was discharged, I can't live normally. Everything in the apartment is foreign. Even my own things, it's like I've walked into someone else's life and I don't know where to put myself. The walls are suffocating, especially at night. At first I slept in the bathroom, there were no windows. Then I slept on the floor by the front door. Now I just lie there and stare at the ceiling until dawn comes through the cracks. Sometimes I turn on the white noise. Sometimes nothing. Calls. Sometimes people I know. A dude from work texted, "Hang in there, bro." I said, "Do you remember what her hand looked like?" He didn't reply. He just deleted the message and disappeared. The others, they call it first, then they get scared. They don't know what to say. One of them even asked, "Hey, was that really an explosive device? Not some kind of gas?" I wanted to answer that I still have a splinter in my leg and that they will take it out only in 6 months because otherwise I will limp. But I just said, "Yes, gas." He said, "Well, thank God it's not terrorism." And he hung up. Sometimes I think I'd be better off dead. Not in the sense that I want to die, but in the sense that death is understandable. It's finite. It's accepted. And when you're left behind, they don't know where to put you. You're kind of a hero, but not really. You're kind of a victim. But you're walking around, you're alive, so you're okay, right? People don't like to see someone survive an explosion. It reminds them that it could happen to them, too. I tried to leave, packed a backpack, bought a ticket to Denver. I stood on the platform, and I couldn't get on the train. I just couldn't. My heart pounded, my knees buckled, my throat went dry. I turned around and walked away. Then I sat in the basement of the parking garage for 2 hours. No sound, no movement. Crying. No tears. It just flowed. One day I met a woman from that day. She was walking down the street and I saw her, a scar above her eyebrow. I remember her. She was standing at the turnstile. She had a scarf with lilac flowers. Our eyes met. She stopped. I walked over. We stood in silence for about 40 seconds. Then she said, "Were you there?" I nodded. She asked, "Do you remember the smell too?" I said, "Every night." She nodded and walked on. No hug. Didn't say goodbye. Just walked on. I realized we had everything we needed between us. "No, hang in there. No, it's gonna be okay. Just you too." I recorded my voice as I read the names of the dead. They were on the website, then they were taken down. Kept it. Sometimes I turn it on and listen to myself say them. It's like it makes them real. Because on the news, they were statistics. 13 dead, 28 injured. I hate that wording, because those aren't numbers. That's not wreckage. It's not the victims. It's them, the people who were there, laughing, drinking coffee, waiting for the train, and now they're gone. There were rumors they caught someone, some teenager in another state. Then they denied it. Some said it was a destabilization operation. Some said religious fanatics. Some said government. But I saw the guy's eyes. He knew what he was doing. He wasn't a fanatic. He just walked away. He left his backpack. And he walked away. No rush. No fear. He wanted us to die. Not by mistake. But precisely. Selectively. I don't know what to do with this truth. I don't know how to wear it. It's like a jacket made of glass. It looks like you're wearing it, but it sticks in your every move. I've tried writing letters to newspapers, no response. I tried talking to a journalist and he said, "It doesn't sell. People are tired of the pain." I said, "Aren't I tired?" He went silent. I look at the people on the streets. They're still living, and that's probably a good thing. But inside I keep thinking, you could have been there too. I don't feel like I'm part of the world. I'm on the outside. It's like I'm standing behind glass and watching someone else live my life. I got a cat. Not because I love animals, but because I can't sleep without moving in a room. He just walks around, breathing, and I feel like I'm not alone. Sometimes he looks at me like he understands. Or maybe he's just waiting for food. I don't know how to end this message, because it's not over. I'm still not back. I'm still there on the platform, the moment everything exploded, and here at the same time, sitting, typing, and I'm thinking maybe if I put it all out there, it might make me feel better for a minute. If you've read this far, thank you. Not because I need the attention. It's because it's not just me anymore. It's somewhere else, and it's already something. If you're reading this and think it's a fake, for God's sake, consider it so. If you've been there, write at least a point. If you did it, I want you to know you didn't kill me, but you killed who I was. And that's even worse. A step, and another step, and another.
Hey, like and subscribe to follow our new videos.